fasting is health, it's wellness, it's also spiritual. And so Ezra 8:23 is the scripture that I use for the fast way out. But it was such a meaningful time for me. I still to this day wear the fast way out on my wrist because I had to fast my way out of stuff. And I don't know that I would have gotten out otherwise. So that's
there's certain things that only prayer and fasting.
Some things only go out by prayer and fasting.
Right, man. And we did 3 different groups. That wasn't the only group that we did.
Then we brought Gina into the mix, and she brought some color commentary with. We did newsletters and did a few articles, and we did some stories. We released my story, your story.
Yeah, we spotlighted some people.
Sammy's story, John. I still talk to John to this day. John Hefney, he'd be a good person if we wanted to do this again, but he's down 60 pounds. He's a college ref, and he's kicking tail. But he's been at it for some years now, just like I have. So, but anyway, it got off the ground, and then pandemic hit, kind of fizzled, but it was meaningful, life-changing for me.
So, one of my coworkers, I ain't gonna share her name. If I talk to her, I'll release her name later. But she got into the fast way out. I think this was the 3rd group that we did.
Yeah.
And it changed her life. Like
okay.
She ended up.
I remember her.
She ended up doing keto.
Keto and OMAD.
Yeah, and OMAD, and she lost a lot of weight. And she ended up becoming a keto coach.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, she's doing phenomenal.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
man.
good. I believe in keto.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's my compromise. Keto is my compromise. I'm all for. Don't eat anything at all for a long time. not always received all that well, but keto is my compromise because it's similar. I think it's similar. It does. Fasting really just induces ketosis on the body.
Yeah, that's right.
So, so it started off health, and then it ended up being spiritual for me. So I ended up in seminary at Duke, randomly out of the blue. So at 38, I went to seminary. My dad was a Duke theology, Duke divinity. My granddad was divinity. My great granddad divinity. They didn't go to Duke. They're all deceased now, and so as a result of this. I think the fast way out was like a catalyst. When we pulled that group together, it was like something happened, and I just decided to follow what I think is a call into some form of ministry, and I'm gonna just kind of stop.
Like Neo, man, they set you free, man. Man.
So I'm in seminary now, trying to figure it out. Still working though.
Yeah, man.
Working full time.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Man. Tell me about you. You started down this path of vegetarian.
Yes.
What was that like? Are you still doing it?
Okay, so I started it. So my youngest is 6 years old. So this happened right around 6 years ago, 2017, around July 2017. And like I said, I had gotten to the point where I put on some weight. Like I mean, usually I walk around about 200, 205, and I had gotten up to 230, 228, 230.
Okay.
And so I did a deep dive. I started studying digestion.
Yeah.
It's like something's just not jiving like it should. And so the more and more I studied about digestion, the more and more I came across, hey man, what are you putting in? Mm-hmm. When what you put in leaves the body, what is it leaving behind? Mm. So that led me to the point where, man, I might need to try this vegetarian thing. I mean, it sounds extreme. So at first I just eliminated pork. Like that's easy. So no bacon, no pepperoni, sausage, all that good stuff. And then after a few months, it's like, I don't miss it. And so July, it might have been July 1st of 2017, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try to go without meat. And, it's a preparation thing. It's like, okay, I got these meals that I can eat, outside of meat, and I think I'll be fine. And sure enough, I kicked it off, and I didn't miss it. And at the same time, this is when I was heavy in the F3. Yeah. I was doing boot camp on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I began doing a run group on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Wednesday was a long run. So you'd be like maybe 5 miles. I say long run, relative. You only got 45 minutes. So all of these things were working together. And then on top of that, I was doing the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So I was eating about 8 o'clock at night, nothing after that, no snacks, no nothing after that, not eating until 10:30 or 11 the next day. So I had that built in with the exercise, well, I say movement, with the movement and the diet and just all the calorie burning from running. So, I mean, and that was the catalyst to get me all the way down. I got all the way down to 188.
Did you get too small?
I got to the point, I would say yes. And the reason I say yes, like, I don't, like, perception, I'm not worried about a little too small, but at 192, that's what my body would hold.
Okay.
Like, I could stay steady at 192. The only way I could get down below that is if I did because I used to work out in the morning without eating. Like, I might drink a little something, but if I went on a long fasted run, like 10 miles or something like that, I mean,
you used to make it sound like that's no big deal.
Well,
like, I would.
When you're in it,
die.
when you're in that lifestyle, it's not a big deal.
Right. When you're in it.
But if I did like an 8-10 mile run in the morning, fasted, like no food, I'd come back and get on the scale and I'd be like 189, 188. But as soon as I eat something, I'm back up to 192. So that's why I said I got too small.
Okay.
But I mean, at 192, my body could handle that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But now I'm back around 205.
Is that
feel
your
comfortable.
ideal? Is that where you want to be?
I think I want to get back down to about 197.
Okay, that ain't far.
Yeah, it's not far. I mean, it sounds like an odd number, but it's not extremely thin. And this is what I wish I could relay to people, like how great I felt. Because you know how you eat a steak or something like that, or a heavy meal. Mm-hmm. It don't have to be a steak, but you eat a heavy meal and you need a nap afterwards.
Yeah.
When I was doing vegetarian, and actually I did vegan for a year.
Yeah.
I did vegan for that first year. And then it was just so much like, what's in this? Anytime you go to a potluck, what's in this?
Yeah.
Who cooked it? What's in it?
I did that for a
while. You know, so just to not be that idiot, you know what I mean? Irritating people.
Yeah.
It became easy to just, okay, well, now let's go to vegetarian. And I did vegetarian for like another 2 years and some change or something like that. Almost another 3 years. And then I started integrating meat back in.
Okay.
But I still eat a plant-heavy diet. Tons of fruits, more veggies than meat, you know. But I mean, I was 37. I was 37, and I was in some of the best shape of my life.
Okay.
I mean, just to kind of put it in perspective, like I said, I gave you the schedule with the boot camps and the run groups. On Saturdays, after an hour-long boot camp, I go home, eat breakfast with the family, because boot camp was from 7:30 to 8:30 on Saturday. Go home, eat breakfast with the family, go play basketball from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'm talking about on the court the whole time. I'm not talking about in the gym. Wow. So, and I mean, yeah, I felt amazing. And if I could relay that to somebody and just give them that feeling for a few moments, they do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah, so I think that's good, man. I think for me, this is probably the best I've ever felt. And to your point, it's hard to explain that, but I feel pretty good, man. I know I can't go out and run 10 miles.
Yeah, that's fine. I can't do it right now. I can't do it either, man.
But it's been worth it. It's been worth it.
That's awesome, man. I mean, like even now, so I'm 43.
Okay.
Just being able to get out and go play basketball with teenagers, guys in their 20s, and have fun.
Yeah.
It's not, because at this point, it's not about trying to be the best on the court.
But you can compete still. You can still go out there and
all right. But just
me, they had to put me on the side.
and I guess you got to have a goal for yourself, man. Because when I was in high school, we used to play basketball against grown-ups. Like, I mean, when I say grown-ups, I mean, these guys were in their 30s and they had families. We were playing against grown men. And I always said, man, I want to play till I'm 40. Like, these guys, they're right up in that age and they playing and they moving. And I'm talking about they playing ball. So I was like, man, I'm going to play till I'm 40. And then I started getting close to 40. Like, man, there's a whole lot of guys playing in their 50s and 60s. Because I don't know if you know, like, Columbus is a hotbed for basketball. And so they actually have like 3-on-3 national tournaments, and these guys do well. You know, you remember in the Black. Yeah. So lunch hour in the Black, it was some professionals that would come in. They'd be in their 40s and 50s, but they don't play 3-on-3 half court. They were playing, and they were playing at a, I don't want to say high level athletically, but they knew the game. There's guys who grew up playing basketball, and you can tell. Because they would pick and roll you to death. Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's kind of been my outlook, like, how long do I want to be active? And now, you know, I got boys that are, well, my oldest son is about to be 10. Yeah. And my youngest is 6. So it's like, man, I want to be active enough to when they get into high school, I can run with them. You know, my daughter, she don't care about it. My daughter's 11, she don't care about none of that. But yeah, I want to be that dad who can get out there and, you know, get it in with them when they're in high school and middle school, you know. Cause I mean, even though they're in the athletics now, and they've been in athletics, it's a different level because they're still small.
Yeah.
But you know, when they get to the point where you're in middle school and they're smelling themselves, that they can get out there and run with them. You know.
So your boys are playing basketball?
My 6-year-old is his second year playing basketball.
Okay. That's young. That's
they
young.
both play football this year, tackle
Okay.
football, which is a little early, but it's okay. You know, that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. That'd be another.
And my 6-year-old, he's been playing baseball since he was 3 or 4, called it Wii ball.
Okay.
My 9-year-old, he's been playing baseball. He started with soccer. His first sport was soccer. Then he started playing baseball. He's been playing baseball since he was 4. So he's been playing baseball almost 6 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And my daughter, she's always been doing dance or karate, or she's doing gymnastics now. She's been doing gymnastics for a while. So, you know, they're all super active.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
So we got volleyball, dance. Both 2 daughters. They both dance. We got music with the trumpet, piano, beta club. I mean, it's just nonstop.
Yeah,
so it's always something going on. Always somewhere to go, something to do.
That's right.
But that's where it helps to feel good, because
that's right.
The person I used to be, there's no way I could be able to do all of this. I really know I wouldn't be able to. So it pays dividends. It really does.
You got to serve yourself so you can serve others, man.
Yeah, starts with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
Talk about your faith story. Whew. How about that?
How much time we got?